Господину, як вона.
У нас вже є представник університету естонського. Ой, ось я тут. Все.
Все добре.
Ну, включать камеры тех, кто есть.
Ну, извините, у меня что-то интернет почему-то вырубился, подключил мобильный быстро, но не знаю, его надолго не хватит.
Я,
Надеюсь,
Анна Валеріївна, ще вам скажу, у нас доєднався університет Шевченка, пані Ольга Шевченко, представник університету Шевченка, заступник декана географічного факультету, буде теж, ну, після наших проректорів, пані Ольга каже пару слів. Дякую.
Дуже добре, дякуємо. Ну, по-перше, вітаємо усіх учасників нашої зустрічі. We welcome all the participants of our meeting. We are very happy to see you in our virtual space, and we really hope to have the opportunity to invite you offline to the next event. Representatives of the administration of Karazin University are present of our meeting. I have the honor to introduce to you the Vice Rector for Research and Teaching, Doctor of Economics, Professor Boris Samorodov. I would like to invite you to speak.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, dear guests and dear colleagues. On behalf of Karazin University, I would like to warmly welcome you and express my sincere gratitude to the estimated speakers, presenters, and leaders for participating in this important event. The focus of your attention, unfortunately, is the challenges provoked by the war. There are those burning issues that require your attention and expertise to be solved. Preservation of Ukrainian ecosystem and natural resources. Ukraine is in a war. Enormous damage is still being done day by day, but post-war reconstruction is already being planned. It is the task for us, the educators, to find solutions and take steps to plan the green post-war reconstruction and provide capacity building opportunities in research and education. We know that together we can make positive difference in the future. Thank you again for being here, and we look forward to working together with the esteemed colleagues from Estonian University of Life Sciences, from Czech University of Life Sciences, from the School of Agriculture and Design of University of Camarina, from Italy, and with our Ukrainian partners in the future joint project to provide the best of our students. I wish you fruitful and productive discussion today. Thank you and have the best. All the best. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your greeting and for your time. Thank you for you. And I would like to introduce to you Head of International Relations, Natalia Linik. Welcome.
Thank you, Diana, for a warm introduction. Hello to everyone. I would also like to extend a warm welcome to each and every one of you to this special event, our esteemed guests and colleagues, and hopefully our future partners in the capacity building project. As Boris said, our mission, the educators' mission, is to provide instruments of change for the transformation of Ukrainian education system during the war and in the post-war period. And besides the tremendous support that we Ukrainians are getting now from the European Union, we should take our own effort in facilitating changes and implementing best European practice into our education. By promoting science and by including young scientists into long-term international scientific communication, we are contributing to our future, and we are developing an image of Ukraine as a science-intensive country. Karazin University really appreciates your commitment to enhance PhD students' education at our institutions, for the sake of their academic excellence and for the sake of the next generation of scholars in Ukraine. Karazhan University has had quite extensive experience in implementing capacity building projects since 2012, and even now, currently, we have got 9 active key action 2 projects, and since the beginning of war, we like regularly get 2 projects per year approved. So the competition is quite tough in our university. Last year, I mean, not last year, but in the last year round of applications, there were 15 applications submitted for this type of project, and only 2 were approved, but that is a regularity, unfortunately, perhaps, which is restricted by the limited budget from the part of European Commission. So like for 2 years in a row, we get 2 projects approved like that. And I do admire your willingness and commitment to continue the work at your application. And you know, I myself understand how much already effort, experience, time, expertise you have contributed to the already existing proposal, because I myself have been doing that for 2 years in a row, and I do believe that and wish you that you will succeed. So I wish that today's discussions will help you to make your sunny project shine like a diamond among other Erasmus Plus activities successfully implemented at our institutions. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your greeting and for your time. And I would like to introduce to you to invite Professor Anton Shkaruba to speak, and in order to set the vector of our work today. Okay.
Thank you very much for your kind introduction. Also, I was really moved to hear nice words by the university top management, by the prorector and the head of the international office. I just realized before we have started this meeting that in 2023, I have a kind of anniversary of 15 years being in joint project activities with your university, which makes for quite a period. During this time, we have implemented 5 projects, in which Karazhan National University was a direct beneficiary. And indeed, many more applications we have submitted together, like with less impressive result though. Now, in question, we have 2 applications we are working on together with the Estonian University of Life Sciences, where I'm working at the moment, and with our other partners. One is the European University Alliance, Alliance for Higher Education application within Erasmus Plus SANI that we have tried to submit last year, but was unfortunately not successful due to some submission and budgetary issues. We're discussing now how we overcome this. And another one is the brand new one, the capacity building program application on the creation of micro-credentials with special focus on green and environmental issues. So this one will be coordinated by my university, and we will hear a presentation from Christine, who is the director of the Open University. This is a unit of our university dealing with outreach and non-degree programs. So like the main target of this meeting is to understand the scope of the issues we have to work on to build new capacity in organization, in teaching expertise, in technical things and some other things. All this indeed will directly target with all this, we'll directly target issues of post-war recovery and war resilience in Ukraine. This is indeed for us the issue number one since we have started these initiatives. And I think I will take no more time of you, and I will invite our next speakers to start this event. In our program, we'll have some talks by our Ukrainian partners, including those from our older formal partnerships. First of all, this is our doctoral school in TENS, which is the first doctoral school in Ukraine, and in particular, it is doctoral school in environmental sciences. With our project SANI, we hope to continue, well, not indeed, it's continuing to burst again the activities of the intense and build new capacity for these new hard conditions Ukraine is experiencing at the moment. And with the other project of on micro degrees, we hope to improve internationalization of our partners, but also to improve the visibility and accessibility of university and the knowledge provided by the universities to broader audiences, which are beyond what university is normally targeting. For this, we'll hear presentations by Ukrainian partners on the experience of the intense school. We'll hear testimonies of our PhD students, but we'll also hear keynotes by our international experts. Christine will talk about micro degrees and how it is managed. And Professor Kalev Sepp from my university and Professor Flavio Stimili from University of Camerina will talk about issues of restoration and reconstruction. In case of Kalev, he will be speaking about restoration of ecosystems. Estonia has big vast experience with this. Experience is not, thanks to God, not related to the war, but to mining activities, but many of these are relevant for Ukraine. And Professor Sepp will conclude with recommendations of what kind of capacity needs to be built for this kind of research and teaching. And Professor Flavio Stimili will speak about what his university did to reconstruct its campus after the earthquakes, which is also not the war, but quite comparable in terms of impact. And again, he will conclude on the capacity which are needed to overcome this kind of catastrophes. So with this, I think I'm finishing and returning the floor to Professor Titenko, so we can start our main program. Thank you again for your kind words, and I'm really looking forward to this event.
Thank you very much. But dear Anton, I would very much like to ask you to moderate our meeting. It will be as effective as possible. No?
I have a little issue today, unfortunately. I have cut from the cable internet, so I have to do my mobile. I have to use my mobile internet, and it's not too many gigas left in this month, I'm afraid. So I will need to cut my video presence as much as possible to be able to follow the meeting. But for sure, I will come back with points, with comments, and with some more contribution. But I will kindly ask, if possible, if you could continue moderating.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
As long as my cable internet is restored, I will be back to moderation duties.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you. Maybe I start in our conference, and I now sharing my presentation. Just a minute. Do you see my presentation?
Yes.
Yeah. Do the slide switch on. No switch. Oh, slide switch.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much. Dear colleagues, allow me to congratulate you from the Karazin Institute of Environmental Sciences. It is a great honor for me to take part in this event. This is an important part of a large project work in which our institute has been participated for a long time. This activity is very interesting and very necessary for us, especially at this time. Therefore, first of all, gratitude to all partners took the time and opportunity to participate in the discussion of experience and planning of new project application, taking into account mistakes in the past. I thank you for your support and happy that we have such friends. Briefly about what was done before, about what we are doing now, and about plans and opportunities for the future. Our institute until 2017 faculty is education and scientific. That is why educational activities for the training of environmental protection specialists are a strategic priority. Our students on field practices in classroom, in laboratories, and we focus our activity on their development. Usual realities of field research, students, students' field practices, setting up experiments, soil sampling, diagnostics in the field, etc., etc. Further processing of samples in laboratories, and so on. More than 15,000 students study at Karazin University, and our institute is one of the smallest, but one of the most active, like all environmentalists. There are 3 departments and 3 educational and research laboratories. The institute cooperated with the leading national and scientific establishments. We train bachelor's, master's, and postgraduate students in the field of environmental science and geography and agronomy. Our faculty was established in 27, and we immediately actively joined international collaboration and the search for grant funding. The staff of the institute in various international educational projects. You can see a part of a list of implemented projects. For example, the first project, improvement of education on environmental management, to open an opportunity to open a new educational program, environmental control and audit, and to provide it with modern methodological support. 17 years of our project activity. Every year we implement from 2 to 6 different projects, and these are only institute-wide projects without taking into account the individual project of scientists. After projects. This is a small part of what is a delayed result. This is the tip of the iceberg. You see complete upgrade educational content, doctoral school, dual supervision of graduate student, more than more and more publication, open a new program, and etc., etc. Projects do not remain just projects, but provide an opportunity to continue the research started in the preparation of textbooks, manuals, scientific artists, etc. For example, now 15% of the editorial boards of our professional collection of scientific articles are our international partners from various projects. We note an increase in the interest and motivation of both teachers and students in the subject as it was defined in the project. Project development research areas of our scientists. In conclusion, I would like to wish all of us project applications that receive support, because this seems to be the only way to the effectiveness of educational process. And in the realities of our country, this is not just acute, but critical. Let's hope for the best. Thank you for your cooperation and support. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm back to my duties. Luckily, I have my internet again. So thank you very much for your insightful presentation. It indeed gives a very nice overview of many things you did and also we did together in terms of research and educational development at our university. Like any comments or feedback from the audience on this talk? Then my question would be potentially what you see is the most important issue now to support our PhD students within the structure of the intense school. If we want to reapply, well, to get additional resources for running intense school, what do you think we have to spend these resources for, first of all?
Potential of doctoral school from project Intense, it's very important for us. We have several PhD students which will планируют защиту по тематике именно проекта Intense. К сожалению, сейчас мы имеем дело только с внутренней мобильностью. Вся внешняя мобильность, о которой мы можем говорить, она, к сожалению, гендерно очень сужена. На все последние такие вот совместные мероприятия по другим проектам, которые мы имели, мы, к сожалению, можем посылать только девушек, только студенток, к сожалению. Поэтому сейчас мы говорим скорее о мобильности, которая онлайн-мобильность, говорим о взаимосвязи в рамках продолжения докторской школы за счет гостевых лекций, за счет взаимосвязи, которая у нас сейчас очень плотная, особенно с Институтом экологии Карпат. И очень надеемся на то, что и их аспиранты у нас, которые сейчас учатся, и наши аспиранты у них, которые во взаимосвязи, выйдут на вот этот новый уровень, поднимут докторскую школу на тот новый уровень и дадут практическую устойчивость того проекта, который был закончен. Мы видим его продолжение, мы рады тому, что есть некоторая синергия проектов, и та же Светлана Бурченко, которая тут присутствует, она дает результат по синергии проектов Вышеградского фонда и проекта Erasmus, ну и другие аспиранты, которые, я думаю, сегодня представят свою работу и покажут результат.
Спасибо. А как вы полагаете, если мы говорим о продолжении финансирования Интенс из средств Евросоюза, на этот раз конкретно мы просим продолжения такого финансирования именно на такой аспект, как усиление взаимодействия между европейскими партнерами и украинскими партнерами. Что вы полагаете наиболее подходящими способами потратить эти деньги и что именно лучше всего нам сделать вместе?
Ну, здесь нужно подумать. Я думаю, что оптимально это в данном случае использовать методологическую помощь европейских партнеров для планирования эксперимента, для помощи в осуществлении научных исследований. Вполне может быть, что это может быть помощь по поддержке работы в лабораториях в Евросоюзе, потому что, к сожалению, сейчас о закупке оборудования к нам, ну, в общем-то, в меньшей степени может идти речь, потому что риски очень велики. Поэтому, скорее всего, речь может идти о, ну, скажем так, может быть такой формат, который мы проговаривали с партнерским университетом Йорка, он может быть приемлем и здесь. То есть мы покупаем оборудование в последующем, которое может быть установлено в украинских университетах, с тем, чтобы во время войны, но это было после войны, а во время войны оно стояло в европейских университетах, и особы, которые навчаются, то есть здобувачі вищої освіти, магистры, представители докторской школы, могли на этом оборудовании и под руководством европейских супервизоров делать эксперименты, делать какую-то свою работу. Таким образом, мы бы дали преемственность и не остановили череду научных исследований и работу научных школ, которые идут в Украине в связи с военным положением и в связи с рисками, с одной стороны. А с другой стороны, у нас бы был, ну, для украинской Academic Staff это такой большой плюс в плане того, что после войны будет на чем работать и можно продолжать то, что было начато с методологической, методической, академической поддержкой европейских ученых у них в лабораториях. То есть вот хотелось бы видеть такой аспект.
Да, интересный аспект. Конечно, я не очень хорошо представляю, насколько технически возможно, особенно со многим оборудованием, устанавливать и опять упаковывать и отсылать. Стоит обсудить, наверное, с коллегами, что мы можем сделать. Спасибо. А были у вас какие-нибудь идеи по поводу того, как мы можем использовать идею микрокредитов для расширения базы образовательной вашего университета?
Ну, это было бы, конечно, мы больше всего в данный момент мы нуждаемся в разных экспресс-лабораториях и в экспресс-оборудовании, то есть для экспресс-полевого контроля. То есть сейчас это приоритет, для нас сейчас стационарное оборудование, оно намного в меньшем приоритете, чем оборудование для нам. Самый острый вопрос, который сейчас решается и должен быть решен, это мобильные лаборатории, оснащенные экспресс-оборудованием для анализа компонентов окружающей среды для того, чтобы можно было выезжать на разминированные территории, на территории, которые освобождены и перестали быть оккупированными, на те территории, которые, на которые было довольно существенное влияние, с тем, чтобы за счет экспресс-диагностики почвы, воздуха, воды и так далее, решать массу задач. Ну, в частности, мы имеем задачу от Департамента экологии нашей Харьковской военной администрации на предмет инвентаризации объектов природно-заповедного фонда, потому что довольно большая часть объектов природно-заповедного фонда перестала существовать как таковая, и изменение ландшафта в принципе вследствие боевых действий и биоразнообразия, которое было на определенных территориях, вынуждает вынести их, либо вынести их из реестра объектов природно-заповедного фонда, либо внести новые объекты, те, которые, ну, может быть, были в потенциале, не имели такой роли в довоенное, в мирное время, но сейчас статус их меняется. Такую инвентаризацию от нас хотят, но мы такую инвентаризацию с нашими неповоротливыми спектрофотометрами, атомно-абсорбционным большим, то есть нам это сделать очень сложно. То есть в данном случае практически для каждой области, которая пострадала в результате боевых действий, а наша одна из как раз таких, очень важны именно мобильные лаборатории. Для нас это критично.
Да, это очень интересный аспект. Он, конечно, стоит отдельного обсуждения именно по переформатированию сети ОПТ. Я думаю, у нас должно быть время для того, чтобы отдельно по этому поводу заниматься. Спасибо большое. Thank you very much for your contribution. I think it was a very good start of our discussion. Now I have honor to invite our other long-term cooperative partner, Dr. Irina Shpakivska from the Institute of Ecology of the Carpathians of the National Academy of Science of Ukraine. It is a Lviv-based institute with whom we cooperate really fruitfully and enjoyably, even I would say, for quite some time as well. So Irina will tell us about her experience with intense project and with the lessons learned from this experience and about future opportunities. The floor is yours, please.
Доброго дня всім, рада всіх бачити, рада всіх чути. З деким ми часто зустрічаємося, з деким рідше зустрічаємося, але надію, що все-таки з якимось процесом, який буде відбуватися в країні, у нас це все, ну, принаймні, буде продовжуватися. Наша докторська школа отримає продовження, незважаючи на військові дії, тому що у нас були зовсім інші плани, а тут життя внесло ось такі корективи. Я свою презентацію буду говорити українською. Якщо є нагальна потреба, то я думаю, що, можливо, Надія Черкашина перекладе, але мені здається, що майже Антон зрозуміло українською, так?
Конечно, зрозуміло.
Угу. Так, ще ви мені сказали, чи пошарився мій екран?
Поширився, але не на всю.
Не на всю, не хоче на всю таки, да? Ось такі. Зараз ми його спробуємо на всю. Не хоче на всю? Ще, будь ласка. Не хоче. Ну, що ж він такий? Добренько, давайте я спробую, так.
А от там зверху, отаку, якщо
Я пробую,
Ага,
от я
я-
зверху якраз, зверху і пробую, а щось в мене
А
зверху не
знаєте,
включено.
можливо, там, де ви демонстрацію екрану натискали, треба не просто екран, а отам, де доска. Може так, не знаю. Це
Де
сьогодні
доска,
так
зараз я
молодь,
давайте я
молодь
спробую.
говорила.
Ага. Спробуємо десь. Ну, щось воно теж не хоче. Ладно, давайте я так, зараз. Вже як воно виходить, щось воно в мене. Окей, давайте ми спробуємо. Що у нас? В мене не хоче. Так, треба зум поновити, бо він мене просив поновлення, я його не поновила. Ну нічого, там в мене такого гарної фотографії немає, так що ми так. Отож, досвід участі у проєкті «Інтем» за Інституту екології Карпат. Я більше зосереджуся на... Ну, да, що там у мене сьогодні? Ще раз я перезавантажу. Ні в яку не хоче.
Коли ви лише завантажили, воно у вас запитувало продовжити показ. Мабуть, треба це натиснути.
Давайте я припиню
І
демонстрацію.
знову.
І знову тоді знову.
Це оновлення в систему.
Щось воно в мене не поновилося і не хоче. Давайте я просто її припиню і зараз ще раз поновимо. Зараз ми попробуємо.
Там по центру.
Ага.
А ми все добре бачимо.
Та я теж
Так, просто він не перемикається в них.
Так.
Угу.
Ну, тут написано, що ви бачите.
Тепер не запит... от бачите, продовжити показ.
Угу.
Продовжуємо. І буде.
Так, але він не хоче перемикатися. В цьому проблема, що він не хоче перемикатися. Так, що саме в мене зовсім не туди. Зараз я ще раз його. Дивно, що буквально вчора ще було, правда, з іншого комп'ютера, а тут щось воно. Так, останній раз пробуємо. Якщо ні, то я вам на словах розкажу в 2 словах. Так, нема на то ради. Ось буде кожен раз переключатися. Що там? Ну, от я ж його прошу продовжити. Так? Ні в яку. Добренько. Значить, я тоді буквально там в 2 словах розкажу. Давайте я, можливо, вам вишлю на почту, Надія Васильівна, ви швиденько
попробуйте. Вишліть.
Так, секундочку, буквально зараз я,
Хоч у Viber, хоч куди-небудь.
хоч будь-куди, зараз.
Щоб я завантажила.
Так буде краще. Ви тоді розшарите, а зараз можемо поговорити. Зараз вже секундочку, я почту висилаю. Прикріпимо. Треба з цим. От, коли в тебе 10 комп'ютерів, один там, другий там, і в результаті виходить, що в різних місцях різний зум, і воно деколи тоді щось таке показує. Зараз секунду, воно вже вам поїхало, так? Зараз тоді попробуємо його.
Подивимось. Поки що їде.
Ну, їде далі. Поки що, давайте, щоб час не тратити, поки воно доїде. Анна Валерівна, я також підтримую думку стосовно можливої нашої співпраці з партнерами, що, ну, в принципі, нам би от якось з обладнанням було добре допомогти, тому що, ну, і у вас, і у нас, звичайно, що обладнання є, я навіть там презентації, якби пишу, що у нас є експериментальна база і база для польових досліджень, Але ці всі прилади, вони вже в нас, ну, трошки так часу мають. Ось ми пробували ще зараз, ну це можливо для вас також важливо, як для географів, зосередитись більше на гість-дослідженнях, і це важливо є. Тому, може, був би такий варіант, що з програмним забезпеченням нам трошки краще було би також допомогти.
Це також добра ідея.
Да, як варіант, особливо, що стосується природно-заповідних територій, то дивитися, як змінюється, ну, в вашій стороні, звичайно, що наші наразі вони в такому стані, в якому були, ось, а вас було би цікаво дивитися на зміну, от на вплив пожеж, на вплив оцих вирв від снарядів, ще ось такого. Тобто це дистанційне зонування, воно було би зараз дуже-дуже таким, якби, ну, моя думка така, що було би актуальним. І, можливо, навіть зосередити якісь наші курси в докторській школі наступні на можливостях оцього оцінки впливу, який відбувається зараз на значній території, я би сказала, України, куди потрапило багато об'єктів ПЗФ. Ну, звичайно, що і про міста можна було б говорити, тобто з такого плану. Що, Надія Васильівна, прийшла моя презентація? Ні? Ну, дивіться, в мене вона...
Вона не хоче нам показувати.
Не хоче вам показуватися?
Ну, мабуть, бо не в вас не йде, не мені не прийшла.
Ні, дуже мала би прийти, вона вже від мене
Ну,
давно.
я перезавантажую кожного разу.
Не хоче?
Ну, немає, листа немає.
Там. Добре, ну, не знаю, що. Щось вона сьогодні ніяк не хоче.
Ага, спробуйте кинути мені в Телеграм або кудись інше. Бо пошта вона.
Я вам на Gmail, правда, її закинула.
Та не важливо, я обидві дивлюсь. Немає.
Не хоче йти?
Не-а.
Не-а. Добре, ну давайте тоді, значить, що важливо, тобто, що стосується саме докторської школи, презентацію дійде, то ми її потім швидко погортаємо, а не дійде, значить, така наша доля. Значить, ви бачите, якби саму презентацію, я можу, значить, хіба що зараз йде на що сказати, який досвід. Чим корисний взагалі досвід участі в таких проєктах? Ну, по-перше, це те є, що у нас не знаю. Ладно, буду розбиратися, це вже діло таке. Значить, що важливі, які інструменти для саме проєктів? Це у нас є літні школи і різноманітні конференції. Що важливо є для саме докторської школи? Ну, по-перше, що це є перша така докторська комплексна школа в Україні, яка почала функціонувати. І хочу тут наголосити, що у нас, так як сказала Ганна Валеріївна, дуже гарний намалювався якби співпраця з вашим університетом, з вашим факультетом стосовно обміну студентами, виступів на спільних конференціях, спільної організації конференцій і спільних публікацій. Найважливіші інструменти взагалі і досвід проєкту для молодих учених – це, звичайно, є літні школи. Тобто літня школа деколи за 2 тижні дає то, що ми на семінарі, на конференції, особливо онлайн, не зробимо за півроку чи за рік. От я надію, що тут аспіранти, які присутні, вони таки підтвердять тут, значить, мою тезу, тому що це є досвід спілкування раз, досвід відвідування нових територій, розширення світогляду і можливості обговорення наукових досліджень чи ще чогось в такому плані. Друге, це є дійсно спільні конференції, і тішить те, що ми почали з вашим університетом проводити спільні конференції, які стосуються таких, якби, ну, один напрямок – це чисто науковий, це екологічні дослідження в широкому плані, а другий напрямок – це який стосується екологічної освіти, що також є важливо для України зараз загалом. Що мається на увазі? Мається на увазі, що у нас в Україні відбувається постійне реформування освіти, в тому числі і освіти екологічної. І навіть були такі, зараз мені можливо пошариться екран, дуже добре. І ви, значить, можете далі, значить, продовжувати, тепер перегортати ці слайди, я вже постараюсь там щось розказати. Так, давайте гортайте. Так, значить, важливою є це запровадження саме і розробка моделі комплексної докторської школи, саме з комплексної, тому що це в нас є 3 спеціальності: це екологія, це науки про землю і це технології захисту навколишнього середовища, що ми в цьому проєкті попробували відповідно зробити. Прошу далі гортати, там ми зараз багато прогортаємо. Значить, і саме в рамках, далі гортаємо, це всі знають, це не цікаво. Наш інститут також всі присутні знають, це Інститут екології Карпат, який базується у Львові і який, відповідно, почав оцю роботу взагалі в цьому проєкті саме з отриманням ліцензії на проведення підготовки докторів філософії, тобто 3-го цього освітнього рівня. Проєкт ми почали в 2018 році, ліцензію отримали в 2019 році, тому наші аспіранти фактично поступили в аспірантуру в 2020 році, а до того в проєкті брали участь молоді науковці, які вже були захистилися, і вони якби були таким стимулом новим аспірантам також брати участь в проєкті в літніх школах і не проводити досвід. Зараз ви прогортайте там ті слайди, які в нас є з документами, вони зараз не цікаві. Єдине скажу, що в рамках цього проєкту ми розробили 4 курси, і значить, ці курси, що цікавого може бути загалом для вас, що ми сьогодні говорила про біорізноманіття, це є наукові основи збереження біорізноманіття. Якраз тут йде мова про картування, це стосується біотопів, це стосується значить, загалом території, ландшафтів і, відповідно, всього решту. І основним таким моментом це ще є методика вивчення біорізноманіття саме гірських регіонів, тому що вони відрізняються від рівнинних, що у нас також прописано. Будь ласка, далі. Значить, як я вже сказала, у нас є експериментальна база з великою кількістю приладів, вони представлені були в нас в різних наших презентаціях, тільки от така специфіка, що в нас є лабораторія хімії та біохімії ґрунтів, де ми проводимо значить, роботи на високому, я так не дозволю собі сказати, рівні. І це є лабораторія еколого-зоологічних досліджень, але зоокомпоненту від найпростіших до хребетних. Тобто тут ми можемо якби, виступати експертами, консультантами, не тільки виступаємо, не тільки в українському масштабі, але і в європейському масштабі, особливо в Карпатському регіоні. Це центр колективного користування флуоресцентним мікроскопом. І що нас тішить, у нас є 3 стаціонари в різних регіонах західних частини України. Це Полісся, це Карпати і це, відповідно, Закарпаття, куди студенти і аспіранти, і молоді науковці, і досвідчені науковці можуть приїжджати, проводити свої дослідження. Значить, аспірантів у нас на даний момент є значить, є аспіранти 4-го року навчання, 2-го року навчання і 1-го року навчання. Далі прогортайте, це, значить, хто був, той знайомий. Значить, одного далеко Дмитра мали змогу навіть сьогодні послухати. Є надія, що ми з ним познайомитися в найближчий час, можливо, весною. Ось. І дуже важливим, як я вже сказала, це є заходи. За 4 роки реалізації проєкту і після того, як проєкт вже прийшов фазу якби, значить, розвитку, далі було проведено, я рахувала, може це було більше, біля 15 семінарів, конференцій, тренінгів в онлайн-форматі. У нас ще попало так, що ковід нам трошки збив, скажімо так, нас з того темпу, який ми взяли. Значить, це 4 літні школи, 1-ша літня школа, 2-га літня школа, в якій брали участь всім вам відомі наші молоді вчені, це Володимир Рожак, це Андрій Бачинський. Значить, і ми навіть умудрилися провести, це, значить, 3-я літня школа була також, де брали участь спільно наші молоді вчені, будь ласка, далі. Це, переключаємо. Цікавою дуже була 4-та літня школа, вона фактично вже відбулася після завершення проєкту, що також позитивно, але за рахунок синергії з іншим проєктом. Що в нас було зроблено в інституті? В інституті ми, значить, також проводили окремо уже з залученням партнерів науковий семінар «Природні рішення для розумних міст» для широкого кола уже Львівської громади. Будь ласка, далі, де ми обговорювали, знову ж таки, результати літньої школи, тобто це не просто був якби семінар, а це вже впровадження результатів. Потім, значить, спільні наші семінари далі були з університетом Каразіна, де брали участь наші і молоді науковці, і спікерами були. І що важливо, це, значить, в нас було в 2019 році започаткування саме докторської школи. Ми проводили міжнародну конференцію, де були присутні всі партнери, і саме там ми підписували угоду про функціонування докторської школи. Будь ласка, далі. Так, ну тут можна бачити, як це відбувалося, урочисто, красиво, і надіємося, що воно буде продовжуватися. І саме, що в тій ситуації якби є оригінальне, що все-таки ми академічна установа, і наша академічна установа зробила такий круглий стіл у 2020 році щодо можливості участі академічних установ взагалі в програмах Erasmus, тому що у нас дуже багато є наукових установ у Львові, які взагалі думали, що академічним установам не можна, а лише відповідно тільки університетам. Будь ласка, далі. Тобто це так ми свій досвід вже розказували. Потім ми перейшли на інтернет-конференції, всім відомі, ну але продовжували цю роботу. Це вже після майже завершення проєкту. Що важливо, про що я хотіла сказати? Це спільні наукові дослідження, які ми започаткували в рамках цієї докторської школи, що передбачено, знову ж таки, нашим договором і регламентом докторської школи. І почали ми це робити в 2021 році, вже після завершення проєкту. Наша аспірантка прослухала у вас, про що отримала документ, відповідно, курс з філософії і науки. Ось ми її зарахували. Я надію, що ми цю практику, Надія Васильівна, будемо продовжувати. І тепер, значить, наші аспіранти у вас або ваші аспіранти у нас також будуть прослуховувати курси за вибором, які їм будуть підходити. І ми маємо право, відповідно до нашої регламенту докторської школи, зараховувати їм в академічну довідку. Ніхто тому якби суперечити не буде, це абсолютно прийнято. Ось. І знову ж таки аспіранти Владислав Воронін і Світлана Бурченко проводили наукові вже дослідження, які стосувалися віку і ходу росту дерев на території Львова і на території природно-заповідного фонду, що ми плануємо далі, я надіюсь, публікація такі з того приводу вийде. Значить, знову ж таки, ми постійно проводимо презентацію нашої докторської школи у всіх установах, де тільки можна, і для Західного регіону, і для Західного регіону. Ми можемо бачити, що в 2021 році я проводила таку презентацію для стейкхолдерів Західного регіону. Звичайно, всі зацікавились, і тут у нас почав організовуватися конкурс в аспірантуру, бо всі хотіли ж не тільки в аспірантуру, але ще попасти на докторську школу з іншими можливостями. Також спільні виступи на конференціях. Ми можемо також бачити, що в 2021 році у нас була міжнародна конференція молодих учених, де в нас була спільна доповідь про перспективи запровадження і функціонування цієї нашої національної комплексної докторської школи. Будь ласка, далі. Дуже важливим є спільні публікації з нашими напрацюваннями. У нас вже є декілька спільних публікацій, по-моєму, їх вже є 5. Ну, наразі мені попали з-під руки 3 публікації. І саме цікаве, що публікуються вже без значить, керівників. Наприклад, наша значить, Оксана Леневич з вашою Аліною Гречко. Це, я вважаю, дуже позитивно, що у нас молоді науковці вже настільки виросли, що вони можуть публікуватися самостійно. Тому ми це будемо підтримувати і надалі з вашими новими аспірантами, з нашими аспірантами, значить, таки другого, першого року навчання, яких ще є оця перспектива. Будь ласка, далі. І спільні конференції, знову ж таки, не так давно, цього місяці, ми провели нашу чергову конференцію молодих учених. Конференція була міжнародна, хто брав участь з ваших учених аспірантів це знають. Ну, можна бачити, що ваші аспірантки представили доповіді, викликали вони жваве обговорення, і ми будемо такі конференції, я надіюсь, проводити надалі, тільки ми хочемо трошки змінити формат вже з молодих учених на просто учених, бо тут у нас кажуть, що попахує ейджизмом, і було дуже багато зауважень, що така цікава конференція, але тільки для молодих учених, а от що там, може, якщо 36, то вже не можна. Ну і підсумок. Значить, підсумок – це найкращий підсумок взагалі цього проєкту, це є те, що та докторська школа продовжує функціонувати. Раз, що в нас є спільні конференції, спільні публікації, спільні наукові дослідження. І що саме цікаве, у нас є спільні плани подальших відповідно досліджень. До 25-го року в нас є план, знову ж таки, який стосується нових залучення основних партнерів, які нам будуть допомагати у імплементації і функціонуванні нашої докторської школи. Будемо надіятися, що принаймні ці плани амбітні, які ми собі ставили, наразі вони втілюються і вони будуть продовжувати втілюватися. Ну і звісно, що тут, завдячуючи Антону Шкарубі і колегам з Харківського університету, що ми робимо спроби подавати на ще один міжнародний проект саме для підтримки не просто проекти якісь, які цікаві одному партнеру чи другому партнеру, а проект для підтримки саме докторської школи в такому форматі, в якому вона є, тому що я вважаю, що все-таки це є успішним проектом, успішним впровадженням цього проекту і сталістю проекту, який ми завершили в 20-му чи 21-му році. Це вже було так давно, що я не пригадую, хтось мені може нагадає. Ну, вже, по-моєму, років 3 ми його як завершили навіть з певними продовженням. Отож, дякую за організацію саме цього круглого столу. Надію, що він буде результативний і далі ми будемо продовжувати співпрацювати і, ймовірно, виграємо ще один грант на ще один проект. Дякую.
Thank you very much for the very detailed and encouraging presentation. Indeed, I'm really happy to see that we have a lot of sustainability features of our project, and it's still running, and the doctoral school proved to be useful and interesting idea, and it is growing, and it is going forward. That's indeed the best outcome of it. So the question would be usual: what do you think would be should be the next step? How exactly we could support the doctoral school through cooperation with European Union partner institutions?
Ну, так, я вже сказала, ми тут трошки обговорили, що нам би було дуже корисним в рамках цієї докторської школи, оскільки в нас природничі спеціальності, зосередитися на методах і можливостях дистанційного зондування землі, гіс-технологіях для оцінки наслідків впливу військових дій. Для цього потрібно програмне забезпечення і оргтехніка. Ну, це таке, що вартувало би. Ну і, звісно, ми мріяли, знову ж таки, про нові прилади для дослідження різних компонентів екосистем, ну, але це наразі мрії залишаються мріями. Якщо будемо писати вже якусь конкретну заявку з конкретним напрямком досліджень, тоді ми про це поговоримо детальніше.
It's mostly equipment and software is you think what is important now.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, let's see what we can do about it. Yeah, thank you very much. Any questions, any feedback, any comments to this talk from the audience? Okay, so probably no questions anymore. So I suggest that we move forward. And now we will hear Oleg Shably from Odessa State Environmental University, the head of the international department, who will talk about the experience of his university in intense doctoral school, and hopefully also will add something on his ideas about micro-credentials project. Oleg, the floor is yours.
Well, thank you so much, but we have some issues. Wait a while. I don't know what is happening there.
We can see your slide.
Hopefully that's nice. Just a moment. Unfortunately, I don't see anything way too well. That was better. So a few words about Intense as a project. From the very inception of the Intense project, there is an undeniable spirit of collaboration and commitment radiating from every slide. The presentation is quite long, 26 slides, so I'll just comment on some of them, or maybe the trends described, and then serves as a vivid testament to the unyielding dedication of every institution, every researcher, every participant who were involved in this project. Move from slide first and from to the very last one here isn't just a linear progression of events, but a representation of years of collective effort, innovation, and groundbreaking works. Each work package details steps that are monumental on their own right, whether it is the in-depth preparation efforts like surveys and analysis, or the concrete development of the Intense infrastructure. Every phase holds paramount significance. It's commendable to witness the meticulous planning that has gone into ensuring the project addresses the evolving the needs of postgraduate students, especially in the context of Ukraine's higher educational landscape. So this slide initiates the momentum by emphasizing the groundwork and research undertaken to understand the institutional and academic nuances of postgraduate education in Ukraine. The effort is not merely procedural, was not merely procedural. It spoke of the high spirit in which the project had been grounded. Collaborative development of questionnaires and their subsequent analysis reflected the initial steps taken to ensure that the project aligned with the real-world requirements. So slides 3 and 4, they delve into the creation and establishment of infrastructural visits to the Intense project, the formation of an Intense institutional infrastructure, and the initiation of the Intense schools and networks underscore the effort, the transformative nature of this venture. Moving on a bit. Here we go. So the following slides illuminate the project's dedication to knowledge sharing, development of cutting-edge learning tools, and fostering open education platforms. The emphasis on sharing research facilities and the launch of e-learning models and educational platforms, learning models and MOOCs, and that are indicative of the project goals to demonstrate high quality education. Project stands out as kind of symbol of international collaboration, and it demonstrated the launch of national Intense schools and the international Intense network. And it was the emphasis of sharing be it research facilities, insights of academic resources. In all of this aspect, it is a significant departure from traditional sales, exemplifying the transformative nature of this venture. With the learning modules with MOOCs and e-science integration, Intense isn't just a project, but a movement towards open education, towards universal access and democratization of knowledge. And this commitment is further underlined by the emphasis on transferable skills and a conscious effort to instill practical and invaluable abilities in the students. So those slides mark a vivid display of the practical implications and real-world application of the project, hosting of multiple summer schools, piloting and of e-learning models and innovative training events. those events that highlighted the project dynamic and multifaceted approach. The dissemination efforts from exhibitions and to conferences encapsulated the project's dual goal of education and advocacy. It's heartening to see our university unwavering dedication culminating in well-deserved accolades, and attest to our significant contribution, because we were work package leader under work package 5. Slides 15 through 18. They shed light on the project's rigorous efforts in ensuring widespread awareness, outreach, and knowledge dissemination. The meticulous efforts in managing the project's web portal, engaging on social media, and showcasting project achievements at various exhibitions solidified the project's esteemed reputation in the academic world. And slides 19 through 22, they provide an insight into the extensive governance, management, and administrative backbone supporting the intense project, the hosting of numerous science conferences, governance infrastructure activities, and pivotal management events emphasizes the immense importance and impact of the project outcomes. In conclusion, the intense project isn't just about training or infrastructure. It is a testament to what's achievable when passion meets purpose. It serves as an enduring reminder that when institutions and individuals come together with a shared vision, and the output and outcomes, they aren't just meaningful, but sometimes revolutionary, like this particular case. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. The traditional question, and what do you think we shall do now in order to ensure further development of the intense school, and how it can be done through the enhancing capacity, cooperation capacity with EU partners?
Much has been said already on what should be done under the project. Maybe a small point from me, maybe of minor significance, but nevertheless, I would, apart from everything that had already been stated, we as a university would like to concentrate on development of soft skills and skills of the 21st century. I hope you know what it is. We have some such intricate tasks, like, in accordance with those top 5 skills. For previous quarter in the version of Forbes, we have such intricate things like self-awareness and or mindfulness, or anything like that, but nobody knows for sure how to teach them, how to deliver knowledge on how to develop those skills. Open-mindedness, for example. Who can tell me how to develop open-mindedness in the study process? We well know what open-mindedness is. It was nicely formulated by the 3rd president of Ukraine. Щирість, відвертість, прозорість, але ж ніхто не знає, як викладати щирість, відвертість та прозорість.
Yeah.
Maybe apart from Victor Yushchenko.
Yeah. Thank you. Any questions, comments, or any other kind of feedback from the audience? Okay, probably that's it. And again, just as a general remark, State Environmental University is one of the strongest universities in Ukraine as regards the development and piloting IT tools in education, research, and related activities. And also in the intense project, it was the responsibility of our Odessa partner to develop PhD portfolio, e-science, and massive open online courses for our partnership. And also Odessa State Environmental University is still hosting the website of Intense, and you still can check it and see the latest development. We'll probably also need to post on this website information about this meeting. And what I guess also in any further projects in Sunny and the project on micro-credentials we're discussing now, that also going to be one of the central roles of our Odessa partners, the work on IT capacity of Ukrainian partners to not only to survive this war, but also to become better home to young scientists and to students. Yeah, thank you very much. Now I give the floor to our students and junior researchers. Now I invite Svetlana Burchenko, who will tell about summer schools under the Intense project, her experiences, lessons learned, and probably some critique, if there is any. Please, Svetlana, the floor is yours.
Yes, good day, everyone. Did you see my presentation? And few minutes.
Yes, you can see the title slide.
Maybe I have the same
No, it's fine.
Oh, it's fine. Okay.
Now it is full screen.
Full screen, and it's changed. Yeah?
Yes.
Okay, I would like to tell you about my experience in the summer school of the Intense project. I was started when I was a PhD student, and now I'm already senior lecturer in our institute. Well, everyone used this slide about what exactly is Intense. Well, about the date, Intense was ended in 2020, but due to COVID-19, we have some activities in 2021 year. About the first summer school that was on Intense program, the precautionary principle that was in Central European University in 2018 in Budapest, Hungary. Our participant was Olena Chernikova and Alexandra Volkova. The goal of this summer school was to investigate the problem and possible ways to develop for the effective and proper application of the principle of prevention in the management of sustainable development. On this summer school was presented 15 scientists and experts and around 30 participants from different countries. Also for this summer school have had a few partners, include the European Environmental Agency, ERDA organization, and DAP. The nature school was nature-based solution for smart cities, which conducted in Belarus, in Mogilov, 2018 also. Our participants, our PhD students, Shirokostop Sergey and Duchenko Victoria. On the slide, you can see the list of lecturers of this summer school, and there were around 40 participants from 11 countries. Well, I today have a very low internet. I'm sorry, my computer ended his work.
What exactly happened?
Если просто, то он завис.
Frozen.
Just 1 minute. Ну, никак. О, не хочет выходить. I'm so sorry. Maybe it was better. This was nature-based solution for smart cities summer school. The second our activities was. Do you see presentation? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Just work not good. It's our scientific and methodical seminar in 2019. We were listening to the reports of the result of scientific activity of young scientists of our department. It was in Stійkість, and it was my own first presentation, my first year of study of my research. The participants were scientists from Central European University, our institute, Department of Geology, Geography, Recreation and Tourism, Institute for Carpathian Anthropology, National Scientific Center Institute for Soil Science and Agrochemistry Research Institute, and also there were the workers of Department of Ecology and Natural Resource of Kharkiv Region Administration. The next, our activity was summer school water innovation policy management research in 2019 in Tartu, Estonia. The first summer school in my life. You can see on the slide a list of lectures from different countries, and on this summer school we have 5 topics to our research. I worked in the group River and Flood, Green and Blue Infrastructure, due to topic of my dissertation about green infrastructure. So we're based in Tartu, and we conducted research about green infrastructure, green blue infrastructure in Tartu. The summer school has had 2 stages. First one was theoretical stage, where we had lecture, workshop, and was exchanging our research ideas. The second stage, was our group research, and the central question of our group was how we can find a complex compromise between food safety, economic interests, and the ecosystem services of green-blue infrastructure. We had visited in Tartu Department of Land Use. We visited object of green-blue infrastructure in Tartu, worked with GIS programs, and working with city portal about information about the flood. After this research, we made a questionnaire. We we work with citizens of Tartu about their knowledge of flutes. After summer school and all our activities, we developed e-learning models and MOOCs. One model we have created. We have created a lot of educational disciplines in our institute, prepare studying program and materials. So we have a few disciplines we can see on the slide. The second activity was individual internship in Institute for the Carpathians Ecology in 2021 in Lviv. Irina Mironivna said about this summer school, this internship mostly, and during these activities we had visited the Department of Ecology and Natural Resources of Lviv City Council. We visited urban gardens, which made by initiative on NGO. The second stage was in Skolivsky Beskidy National Park. There Vladislav conducted his research. We were co-samples, and the last stage was in Lviv, where we had visited the International Scientific and Practical Conference in Institute of the Carpathian Ecology, and meeting on elections with Professor Mykola Nazaruk in the university, in Ivano-Franko National University. So on the ending, I want to tell you about how actually for PhD student, intense helps to PhD student. We have a few competence and soft skills. During every activity, every seminar, summer school or conference, we understood more deeply our research methodology. We can exchange research with other participants and work with lectures from different countries, worked in workshops, did small research project. All of this give and understand the specific of conducting scientific research. That's all. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much. So it's nice to see that you have appreciated the menu we have prepared for our researchers, young researchers back in the day. In your opinion, was it something that was missing, and what else you would like to have, and how it was different from your expectations and your actual needs as a PhD researcher?
For I want to say that for my PhD research, it was an ideal project, maybe, because I started in the 2019 and after finished the project. For future PhD researchers, I think it was be good if we made the project due to their topic of research, because my topic was very relative to the topic of summer schools, for seminars, for conference hour. So it could be better if PhD students need to some research in laboratory, we can give him this opportunity. If he has some some field research. He can go in the future and conduct his research. So I guess it would be better. But it's only on my experience due to topic of dissertation.
Yeah, thank you very much. Any other feedback or comment, other kind of comments to the talk by Svetlana? Yeah, then thank you very much for your contribution. Now we shall move to the next talk. Let me have a look at the agenda. So it is taught by our other PG student, Alina Grechko, and she will give us more details about the summer school we had in Yaremche in cooperation with our colleagues from Lviv, and one more project we had in Kharkiv, which was funded by International Visegrad Fund. So please, Alina, the floor is yours.
Hi, I share you my presentations.
Yes, please.
Yes, yes.
Okay, today I would like to share my experience to participate in summer school in Yaremche under intense and international Visegrad Fund project. It will be in September in 2021. The main goal, our intensive research school aimed to study and finding solutions to real-life problems in the rapid urbanism Carpathes Mountains. Will include intensive training in research methodology and group work on interdisciplinary research project. The school consisted of 3 periods. Pre-periods, at this stage we got equipment with cases on green and blue infrastructure. In a flight period, we have interactive session, decide to familiarize their audience with the state of the art in their flight and analytical tools, and work it in group project and communicate with stakeholders in Ivano-Frankivsk. After flight period, which is the time for finish group work and making presentation of research findings. As part of summer school, graduation student from Karazi National University, Institute of Carpathian Ecology of the National Academy of Science of Ukraine, and Odessa State Environmental University worked together on 3 group projects: green and blue infrastructure in small towns, green and blue infrastructure in large cities, green and blue infrastructure of the territorials of the nature reserve funds. My project was decided to the green and blue infrastructure of small towns. So I would like to talk about the result of our project. My project was decided to the green and blue infrastructure in small city. As part of the flight practice, we studied our green infrastructure in Yaremche, and each the project members told about the small town they were researching. This is how we campaigned for small city in Ukraine is Yaremche, Chuguyev, Vilkove, and Skola. The study of the projects outlines the key problems of small towns in different regions of Ukraine. Co-study we proposed and presentation at summer school. Common problems of small towns are drainage problems, problems of flooding during heavy rains due to the lack of storm sewage, lack of waste management culture, lack of environmental education. And we have a green solution. Our green solution will be a rain garden, bio wells. and penetrating surface. As part of the project, graduate students investigate the common problems of large cities such as Odessa, Kharkiv, and Ivano-Frankivsk, and propose solutions for the arrangement of green and blue infrastructure in the context of limited urban space. The study of green and blue infrastructure on the project area of the Carpathian Biosphere Reserve proposed improvements to the existing infrastructure and ways to optimize the conservation of these areas. As part of summer school, we went on excursion on Vorokhta, however, we had the opportunity to climb the highest mountains in Ukraine. We can see the Carpat Biosphere Reservoir to explore the equipments of the period reserve. The city of Ivano-Frankivsk and Taras Shevchenko Park, which is an example of Such's organization of green infrastructure in city. And we can see Girls Cry waterfall. It's so beautiful places. Based on the result of the linear school, a round tables was organization to discuss the result of the project, summarize the result and outline proposals for the future research on green and blue infrastructure. This is how the topic of my dissertation become related to green and blue infrastructure of small towns. And our partner in project, Anton Shkaruba, become my supervisor. That's all. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you very much. Again, that usual question, what would you believe to be possible,
Future.
not future, well, future indeed as well, but first of all, how you can imagine we could improve our training activities in order to fit better to the needs of young researchers like you?
Если можно, я на русском отвечу.
Sure.
Наша летняя школа помогла мне и дала направление для подальших действий. Я узнала о таком достаточно новом для себя направлении в изучении зеленой и голубой инфраструктуры. И мне кажется, вот такие вот міжнародні проекти допомагають молодим науковцям знаходити себе в майбутньому і бачити свої рішення в тому чи іншому питанні. Рішення екологічних проблем потребує такої всеобізнаності і змога спілкуватися з міжнародними партнерами і бачити нові підходи до тих самих екологічних проблем, які є. Я думаю, це дуже цінний досвід для майбутніх профессорів, доцентів. Я думаю, це дуже цікаво.
И как нам это сделать лучше?
Как нам это сделать лучше? Я думаю, что сейчас, к сожалению, война немножечко внесла свои коррективы, но в подальшем можно все так же продолжать онлайн-встречи, дискуссировать на тему решения экологических проблем, с которыми столкнется Украина после завершения войны, так как военные действия на территории Украины принесли очень много вреда как природным заповедным территориям, так и просто территориям, городским территориям. И в подальшем мы надеемся на зеленое развитие нашей страны, и вот элементы зелено-голубой инфраструктуры, я думаю, очень будут полезными в поствоенное время.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Any other feedback, any kind of comments to this talk by anyone from the audience? Okay, then probably we shall move to the last talk by our students. We invite Polina Ponomarenko, who will talk about the most recent international experience of Kharkiv Karazin University about the Kharkiv-York partnership towards a zero pollution environment in post-war Ukraine. It's a new online program, and I'm really thrilled to learn more about this interesting experience. So, Polina, the floor is yours.
Yeah, thank you so much. Hello, everyone. My name is Polina Ponomarenko. I'm the second year PhD student of Karazin Institute of Environmental Science. What we do on this summer school and what kind of experience we get. First of all, what is the main goal of all this project which we take apart? I just want to say that it's the proposed project of development of community of our university researchers and from York University researchers, which the skills, knowledge, and faculties of perform world-leading research around the assessment, mitigation, and prevention of some chemical pollution after war. About participants of from our department, it was just 3 persons. It was Anastasia Klisch, Alina Hrishka, and me, and we took part of these 3 projects. Project Fate and Impact of Antibiotics in Agriculture. It's have done by Anastasia Klisch. Chemical pollution from small wastewater treatment plants by Alina Hrishka, and investigation into air quality by me. About agriculture and antibiotics on agriculture. Anastasia, during this project, examined the soil and plants and in it, and how what impact of these antibiotics for humans' lives. Another project is chemical pollution from small wastewater treatment plants, and the aim of this project was to study the pharmaceutical pollutants, what enter rivers through overflows, and where this was an impact and how it impact on the river. And another one is my project is investigating indoor air quality and how it was and what I have done. We just measured particulate matter on different kind of rooms. It was in some large lobby and in environmental department. And in another room, like a reception office, where is every time they have a lot of people, and another rooms. But the most interesting, it was at chemical laboratory, when we just cooking and measured how it can impact our life. It's just particulate matter. When during this project and during this experiment, we just see how particulate matter have some impact, and it's also we just measured efficiency of air cleaner and how we can use this on our life, not just for people who live in other country, but also we can use it like in shelter now, because the situation in Ukraine is not so good. We can say during the war, a lot of people need to spend a lot of time in shelters, so we must think how to do the air quality on these shelters better. And what we also do on this summer school, it was excursions. We have we got a lot of knowledge on different places and different laboratories, museums, and some large companies, British companies. As a result of all this summer school, we just presented our results, what we have done. Our students also give some interviews on TV and on newspapers. And we just got a lot of knowledge about scientific and about science of in Great Britain, and just got a lot of things. Okay, it's our last day during this summer school, and thank you for your attention.
Yeah, thank you very much for a nice talk. So my first question would be, what do you think, what kind of experience from this project you currently do with York would be useful and interesting to replicate for the future of the doctoral school intense, and for this action that will aim at enhanced collaboration between European Union and Ukrainian organizations?
First of all, I think the much important thing what every participant have got during this summer school, it's how to use new equipment, like British equipment, how we can use this in Ukraine, and how we can do some scientific experiments. And the goal of this project was not just teaching it's also is how we can use this for help Ukraine after war. And now also, not just after war, and now what we can do now, because we haven't much time we just lose time if we just think about after war. So it's also is knowledge how to prepare for rebuild Ukraine.
Yes, indeed, that's also the main focus of the project we are talking about now, how by means of doctoral training and enhanced research capacity to build Ukrainian war resilience and post-war recovery. So with this, we already have it. Okay, thank you very much for your contribution. Now, do you have any other questions or any other kind of feedback from other audience?
Short question for Polina. How do you use the equipment you brought in Ukraine from Great Britain?
Is question for me or for Alina?
Yeah. Only for you.
Now we just start to planning how we can use it, because I mean how to use it like in shelter, because some question is still haven't any answers, like we can't enter it to some shelters because some shelters haven't how to say it, it's a very interesting. Okay, I just start like this. We just planning how we can use and what kind of shelters we can use it, because first question and first stage of this on this topic, it's find some я перейду на українську, можна? Це знайти певні категорії шелтерів самих. Але ми не маємо ніяких вимог до них, оскільки у нас в першу чергу це безпека людей. Тому we have just question to find shelters where we can do some experiment. I hope our university can support with this and we can do some experiment at our shelter.
Yeah, thank you.
Just
I
progress.
really wanted to tell me about the experiment in the subway metro.
I know, yes, we tried to measure some particulate matter in subway. So the result was not so good. The data of CO2 was great, but particulate matter is still high. And what we can do with this, because it's our subway is they have there are active ventilation, but it's not enough. So maybe it will be very good if we use some air cleaner. And why I say a lot about particulate matter, because it's very dangerous for people and for children if they still in some shelters for a long time. Now we know that it's winter is coming and the situation can be more dangerous, and people must stay in shelters for a long time than in summer. So situation with air pollution, indoor air pollution, is important part of our nowadays.
Yeah, thank you. Any other feedback? Okay, probably we need to wrap up with this part. So for now, I suggest that probably we take 20 minutes of break and resume at 3:30 with the talk by Professor Kalev Sepp. I think he told that his talk would be only 20 minutes, so we still should be on time. And this short break maybe would be useful for everyone to little bit to stretch the legs and have a cup of tea. So see you, if there are no objections to this suggestion, see you at 3:10. Okay? Okay, then see you soon.
Okay, see you later.
So by this time, we're supposed to be back to our round table. Is everyone is here? So Nadia Vasilyevna, if you can see if anyone important is missing yet.
Yeah. Hello, Anton.
Hi, so Professor Sepp is here. So I suggest that we invite, give the floor to Professor Kali Sepp now. Professor Sepp is a professor at Estonian University of Life Sciences. He's the coordinator of intense project on the doctoral school and the director of the International Intense School that also includes Mongolia and Vietnam. So please, the floor is yours.
And can you see my slide? Yes.
Yes, I can.
Very good. Hello to everybody. Anton asked me to give yes, many friends in Ukraine, and I don't know how many you are there. Anton asked to give a presentation about the restoration of oil shale mining areas, and at the beginning I said that I'm not expert anymore because we had several projects 10-15 years ago, cooperation with the French experts and so on. But finally, I thought that it could be nice to enhance my lecture and knowledge. Then restoration of oil shale mining areas in Estonia. Then first, what is oil shale, or scientific name is cooked site, because you can find oil shale maybe in Russia, in Estonia, in Jordania, in China. Mostly we talk about the coal and brown coal. Then the cooked site is sediment from Ordovician age. And in Estonia, we have a Baltic oil shale basin, which also reached to the northwest part of Russia. And it got its name according to the Kukruse Manor. And the scientific name came from the Kukruse Manor. And it was given by Mikhail Zaleski in 1917. Then this Estonian Baltic oil shale basin covers about 3,000, 5,000 square kilometers. And if you look at the map, then the oil shale area is east part of Estonia, East Virumaa, and it's just practically opening on the surface in the northern part. And if you look at Lake Peipsi, then in this part, it's already more than 100 meters in depth. Then east part of. Then we started oil shale industry in Estonia more than 100 years ago in 1916. And a few years ago, we celebrated 100 years of oil shale industry in Estonia. Then it's already started during the Russian Tsar time. And since 1918, several Western European companies, they started activities in Estonia. And if you look amount of mine oil shale in Estonia, then of course the highest peak is during the Soviet time. After the Second World War, there was enormous lack of energy in northwest part of Russia. And actually they planned 5 huge thermal power plants to build 3 in Estonia and 2 in Leningrad Oblast. Finally, they built 3 of them, 2 in Estonia. And if you add all those tons together, then we have mined more than 1 billion tons of oil shale. Then the highest was in 1980s, more than 30 million tons. And during the last 2 decades, it's a little bit below 15 million tons a year. Then if you look at map, then in the northern part, those gray areas and light yellow, they are open pit mines. Then if oil shale is closer than 30 meters to the surface, then the open mining technology is used. And if it's deeper than 30 meters, then we are using underground mining technologies. Then practically all this light, this gray area and majority of light yellow areas are now used areas, and we can look what kind of restoration technologies has started there. Then to understand how this oil shale mining took place, then I think this figure is quite nice to explain. I mean, first we should cut down all forests. Usually we don't use the soil or peat there. We should remove all these limestone layers up to the 30 meters. And then we have up to the 3 meters of oil shale. And even this oil shale layer contain up to the 40% of limestone. And then this oil shale mining front is moving to the south, maybe 40-50 meters of here. And on the right side photo, you can see that there are area where forest is cut, then all this limestone is exploded, and those huge shovels, they put limestone to the heaps. And already further on, you can see how the forest is recultivated. And of course, when we are finishing oil shale mining, then the groundwater is coming back, and all former roads will stay below water, and there will be a huge channel system. Then more pictures about oil shale mining. This huge shovel, it's the 15 cubic meters. And here you can see just 3 meters of oil shale layers, and also you can see the limestone layers between those oil shale layers. Then it's the laboratory of landscape ecology, because there are completely different environmental conditions than in surrounding territories. It's much more calcareous, it's more dry, and in some areas even more wet. Then when we're talking about restoration or remediation, then we can say that it's a restoration of the area damaged by human activities to the usable conditions. And in every type of mining, restoration includes technical stage. It's just the leveling of surface, building roads, ditches, and mostly during the Soviet time, and also at the beginning of Estonian era, we mostly did biological restoration, but actually every mining area has a lot of challenges, I will tell later on. There are several options that we can think about: the pre-mining use of territory, or we can give completely new function for the territory. Then during the first 40 years, there was no restoration activities. Then first time we started to restore mining areas, it was in 1960. There is this wonderful stone there, and we started to plant trees. I will tell later on what are the most suitable trees for the mined oil shale areas. And also we did some experiment with arable lands, but it was not successful. The yield of rye or wheat was very low. Then it's very dry and not suitable. At least we did some experiments. And also at the end of Soviet time, we work out a common guide for reclamation of oil shale quarries. Then in nowadays we can ask the question that is this mining area in one of the problem, definitely it is, but there is also huge opportunities because thanks to the mining activities, very unique environmental conditions are created. And I always told to our miners and the county government that practically we lost this opportunity. That I think that if we could plan properly in 90s, then oil shale mining in Estonia is very unique in the world, and we could become also on the list of UNESCO heritage. And there are many examples. I think about 30 mining areas in the world, they belong to the UNESCO World Heritage Sites, like Wieliczka salt mine in Poland or Roros ferrum mines. But there are many other examples. But this opportunity for Estonia is lost now. Then what could be the opportunities for development of oil shale mining areas? Then when we're talking about aims and stages of the restoration, then always first we should agree what is the objectives. And during the 40 years, the main objective was just reforestation. And nowadays, we are involving more diverse ideas, and of course, it's very important to talk to the local people and other stakeholders. Then every restoration includes collection of the background information. I mean, we should study similar projects in Europe. Then site inventory and analysis is very important. And of course, what are our possibilities in terms of financial opportunities and needs. Then nowadays, more and more, we're talking about that the objective is to restore habitats, and we can create different habitats for the different species. Then we can ask that which species, which habitats, where and what are the inhabitants. And of course, every project should include monitoring plan, and we should periodically evaluation of results and identify the new problems. Then some ideas what have been used in Estonia. Then I will tell a little bit more about the water sports center in Aidu area, that it's very popular. Then a lot of areas are used for the extreme sport, and it's not related to the mining areas, but part of oil shale in Estonia is used in the thermal power plants and part in the chemical industry. And we have about 40 terracones in East Virumaa. And the highest terracone in Kiviõli is now the alternative sports center. Then our military people are very keen to have training there, and they are extending the training areas and territories. Then restoration for technical installation, we have several wind farms in mining areas. Also, we're planning to build some solar farm, and also this water sport center. Like I told, the restoration for agricultural purposes was unsuccessful, but we did this during the 20 years. But definitely it doesn't have the future. But this water sports center, it's very nice that you can see it will be rowing, or it is already rowing channel. Then this Aidu open pit area was stopped 10 years ago in 2012. They stopped the pumping, groundwater level rise again, and now we have 30 kilometers of channels, and we would like to have this international rowing canal, which is just this year we started to build this complex here. Then it's wonderful area for canoeing and doing the sport activities. And I'm very happy to say that actually our student from landscape architecture, we were the first to propose that we should do this water sport center. And actually it was in 2007 when we proposed that did several models and project for the IDO. And of course we have the longest experiences on forest restoration and management. I mean, now it's already 60 years later. Then happily we were very wise when we starting forest restoration. Then we also established monitoring plots, and now we have those reference areas more than 100 all over the mined areas, and just our colleagues from forest departments, they are doing this monitoring already since 60s. And of course it is not only forest recovering, but more and more we're talking also about how to preserve, how to create habitats for the target species. And happily this area is very good for the orchids, but also we can think wider that what bird species or what butterflies could find suitable habitat there. Then this is just when we're creating the novel ecosystems, then we can think about those aspects as well. And of course we can talk what is the natural of the forest, that on one end we have restored forest in the quarry, and the other end is maybe old natural forest. Then again, our colleagues have done quite many research on this, and also currently several PhD students are working on this these terms. Then we have forest monitoring sites all over Estonia, and we can compare those forest sites in restored areas with other areas in Estonia. And at the end of it, I will show what is the growth rates comparing natural forest and mined forested areas. Then this is how it started already in 1960s, that there was not so many technologies, and everything was done by hands and spades in 1960s. But 6 years later, there is really a nice forest already, and forested areas. We have forested now more than 10,000 hectares already, and additionally to the 3 parameters, we are also studying soil coverage and also the forest first layer plants. Then soil depth and phosphorus and nitrogen content, different depth, it's also studied. Then this is maybe the most interesting part, that the growth stands over the time. Then our foresters again have studied the main trees in Estonia. The most common tree is pine, Pinus silvestris. The second one is spruce. The third one is birch. And on the figures you can see that what is the age of the pine, and those orange lines, they are measurements from the mined forest, and this red line is the average for Estonian other monitoring sites. And here you can see that and this one is the natural distribution of seeds, and those are about the planted pine trees, and you can see that really pines are growing much quicker than in average in Estonia. Then they have very good conditions. And actually, if you show those pictures, then you don't understand it's the natural forest or forest on the mining areas. The same with larix, but in the case of larix, you can see that most sites it's don't grow so well like the pine. Then the natural growth outside mining areas is much better. And the third example is about the spruce. Again, spruce needs a lot of fertile soil, and definitely this mining areas doesn't offer this. And you can see that this three parameters are much lower than average in Estonia. And if you look at the deciduous forest, mostly birch. No, in this case, we have some sites which have better growth and some sites with lower growth. But to conclude, then for the oil shale mining area, the pine, Pinus sylvestre, is the best tree to recover. Then, like I said, that in nowadays we are talking more and more about biodiversity and nature recovery. And for this, we can ask several questions for the biodiversity. We can ask strategical questions. What should be restored? That should we restore the same biotopes that existed on the mine site before? Or we should restore the biotopes that are specific for this landscape region? Or can we restore biotope for the rare threatened biotopes or species? Or we can also think that which species are or which biotopes have been most affected by oil shale mining, or which mining areas provide potential habitat for endangered species, again, considering this unique environmental conditions. And again, we have done several studies together with students that what could be suitable biotopes and what could be suitable biotope for certain species. For example, red-backed shrike. And then we should consider what kind of environment we have, that what opportunities does the mine site offers. And we can say that mostly they are open biotopes, they are dry biotopes, they are calcareous, there are aquatic wet biotopes, and also there are some typical Estonian landscape biotopes. And again, if you look at the lower cover of the restored forest, then which have been there naturally, I mean, then we can find quite many forest species, but also there are, at the beginning it was open area, there are still meadow species, and there are also forest meadow species. Then it's again, this aspect is also quite well studied. And like I said, that there are many orchids in Estonia. We have altogether 36 species of orchids, and at least 11 or 12 of them have been found in the mined areas. And there are just 6 examples about orchids, what could be found on the mined areas. Then, and also we can look at beside trees and plants, that also animals are slowly coming back. We also are monitoring those animals. You can see some snakes, you can see the beaver activities, elks, elk damages. Then during the 40-50 years, ecosystems have becoming more and more natural. Then when we're studying international successful stories and projects of restoration, then what are the main keywords, what should be considered? One aspect is that it has been always so-called regional approach. We have done regional study or regional planning, and we have considered all aspects: economic, environmental, social aspects. Most projects are focused on 3 aspects: about the nature conservation, recreational aspects, aesthetical aspects, and most of them are multifunctional. Then and always it's I've considered that the mind area is just part of the wider ecosystems or green network. Then it's very important to consider relationship between the site of interest and other special measures like thematical plans or conservation plans. Then it's very important to consider interconnectivity. Then in the case of oil shale mining and or other mining activities on larger scale, we should implement so-called stages that in one end we are still mining and other end we are restoring. Then it has been reinforcement of the function of the green network and recreational areas. Most successful projects have had secured funding, very effective networking and coordination, and it's very important to establish the monitoring as well. Then it was my last slide. I still have 2 minutes, but I think 2 minutes could be for the questions. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Actually, your presentation sounds like really nice follow-up to one of the main issues Professor Titenko mentioned before, and her university is facing now. They have a big assignment from regional authorities to re-evaluate protected areas network, because substantial part of Kharkiv region have been occupied by Russia for a while now. It's Ukrainian again, and also the war impact was very significant. And nowadays some habitats they are destroyed sometimes beyond immediate restoration, and now it is time to understand actually what habitats need to be restored, which one need to be like left as they are and taken away from the protected areas lands, and what probably new protected areas need to be established in places where before we considered as less important for protection, but now start to play important biodiversity conservation functions. So probably we can find also here some nice ways to interact, to share expertise, and probably to do some interesting joint research and publications.
And I'm especially thankful also my colleagues from the forest departments, Ahto Kangur and Diana and Andres Kivisto, who gave me several slides, and I combined some their results and some my own experiences. Then I should thanks to them also.
Yeah, thank you. Any feedback or other comments from the audience? Okay, probably, yeah, we have something Professor Titenko wants to mention.
Very interesting information, but very sad to hear that the recovery for agricultural purpose was not successful. And 40 years, that's a very long time.
Yeah.
And besides, Ukraine is an agrarian country, and the soil potential is very important for us. Perhaps you have some experience of what option for soil restoration can be the most effective, maybe.
I mean, I didn't tell, in one site, not in oil shale area, with the researcher from Tartu University, they did experiments how to recover meadows, and they bring different rhizomes. What is the right word in English? To restore this microbial composition in the soils, and in this case, soil activity started much quicker than that, but it was related to the how to get back nice meadows, not so much for agricultural crops. I mean, they brought fungus and mycorrhiza from around the soils and distributed together with the seeds. Yeah. But yes, in the case of any crops, it was not successful. We have better soils and areas, and happily we have, yeah. Anything else?
Okay, thank you for answer.
Yeah, thank you.
So then thank you for your presentation. So let us move up to the agenda. I'm also happy to see that Professor Shevchenko from Kyiv National University is back to the conference, and actually now we're going to have perhaps the most relevant presentation from her. Another representative of our university, Kristina Maran, the director of the Open University of Estonian University of Life Sciences, will speak about a new project idea we have to develop micro degrees in green subject and environmental oriented subjects. Also, she will talk a little bit about our university and about the new Erasmus Plus call in general. So, Kristina, please, the floor is yours.
Good evening. Do you see now my slides?
Yes, we do.
Okay. I'm from Estonia, University of Life Sciences, and I'm here, head of Open University. What I'm talking today, shortly maybe about our university, then what our department doing. We are non-academical department. And finally, then about this Erasmus program, what we are planning now. It's helping develop micro degree programs in third countries. Our university is one of the biggest universities in Estonia, but number one who teaching agriculture. We have 3 institutes, Forest and Engineering Institute, then Agricultural and Environmental Sciences, and then finally Veterinary Medicine and Animal Sciences. About Open University, as I told, we are non-academical department, and we are already active from 1997, almost 25 years, and we have only 4 employees, but we can do very much. Maybe a little bit about the numbers. As you see, we're growing every year, and last year we had more than 4,000 students, and they are not ordinary students. They are like life long life learning students, like coming from maybe from some company where they are working, or maybe they are unemployed or something like that. And what we do, simply but we are gateway to society and back, because everybody who wants to make cooperation with us can contact with us, and we help about it. And we naming this lifelong learning so that we sharing it like to 3 programs. One is continuing education, other is university level education, and third is micro degrees. I will speak a little bit more about this now. This continuing education is independent programs. These can be not free for participants, but some programs are not free and they must pay fully. It's normally 1 day, duration is normally 1 day or a little bit more. It's depends, but not very big, not very long programs. How we make these programs, it depends very much what the market needs and what target group maybe wants. We cooperate a lot about entrepreneurs, and we know very well what is going on in market. Other variant, how they can study in open universities, studies at level of higher education. It's so that maybe somebody wants to take only one subject, not come to learn all curriculum, only takes a couple of subjects, and so they can little bit like boost their education. But they can take these subjects only by themselves. They can choose whatever they like. Here is also one example. One girl completed master degree in food industry, but later she saw that our university offering also like producing how to produce vegetarian food. And now she can come and just take this one subject and so improve her knowledges. And finally, about these micro degrees, what we must cooperate maybe in future. In Estonia, we have a law for that, and it's like fixed. This system is fixed, how we can offer these micro degrees, what have to be, what it must consist. But micro degrees is normally from 6 credits up to 30 credits. 1 credit is normally 26 academical hours. It's maybe easier to understand than how long they are. And the program must include minimum 2 subjects, cannot be only 1. These programs, they have to suit in market. If person come to learn micro degree, he or she must get good education, maybe some new skill, and therefore he is more like interesting in job market. A little bit I'm telling also about laws what we have, which is regulating our area. We have like government regulation and also our internal regulation in our university. And if we talk about the laws, then we have Estonian lifelong learning strategy, adult education law, and lifelong education standard and guidelines. If we're talking about our internal regulation, then we have lifelong learning regulation and also open university regulation. And we must follow with this. Okay, shortly about our university and open university. And now I'm talking about this Erasmus program, what we're planning to do, help third lands to build up micro degree programs. Maybe you have a lot of how to tell, you have already like possibilities to do that, and you don't need any Digi or IKT help, but something we can put in this program also if you have already it. This Erasmus opening in somewhere middle of November or even maybe end of November, and will close in middle of February. And until that time, we must write that program. We choose their strand too. It helps a lot develop these micro degrees. It's calling Partnership for Transformation in Higher Education, and budget is 400,000 up to 800,000 euros. Here I wrote general goal, but I don't read it. It's long text. Maybe I take it together a little bit. It's like this program general goal is improve in third lands universities to create better higher education, and it will increase your competencies and skills, and also your employees must be ready to have these knowledges and give it to students. Of course, all this IKT and Digi system we can write in that project, and you can have them then. And of course, one very important thing, this green activity, Europe's climate green goals must like shine through this project as much as possible. Expected impact, here you can see like after that you must have a better quality of higher education, better access to higher education. Of course, you must have regional regulation and law. Therefore, we must ask also in that program your local education ministry. And of course, your digital competence must be higher than. Maybe shortly about this. I don't stay longer because it's a long text and time is already so many. And here I also took a little bit this technical part together from this long text what I got from Erasmus. Develop new subjects and curriculums, and it have to be addressing EU Green Agenda, and from that we must be able to create micro degrees, because as I told, micro degrees must consist from subjects, but they must be such kind of subjects what could be good people who are working. They must be session learning, or maybe e-teaching, or comparing with that. So create digital solution from A to Z. Maybe you have already, you don't need that, but this is also possible. Prepare the legal side, because if you don't have law, then it's very, very hard to follow for these programs. And here is our objectives shortly. For again, for micro degree building, you need very good IKT organization capacity, and this framework what we must have to develop it, suitable curricula and subjects, as I told already. Learning information system, employees' willingness to work with both students and non-students, because they are learning together with students, micro degree program students too, in the same time, and law, but what you then have, it must support it. And to do this, of course, we have to map your needs, what you have and what you don't have, and then we know what part we must choose from that program. But I show what the information system in our university we have studies information system in left side. If student want to learn, then they get this password and username, and they can have our university email. And then if they come in this system, they see everything what comes on in our university about courses, curricula, continuing education, and what they must know about himself, herself. All information is in that system. And then we have other variant, what is document management system. That means like we make all our documents there, also certificates for micro degrees and for other lifelong learning programs. It must be in the system because we must put it archive, like virtual archive, and if somebody wants to have that certificate maybe after 10 years, then we must have it. So, and shortly about this partner variants and requirements, as Erasmus telling that from third countries must be equal or bigger number universities. And now we spoke with a lot of universities in Ukraine and Armenia. And at the moment we have like initial plan. It's not like final, but it is so like you see this from Ukraine. We have 3 universities. Ministry of Education, of course, we must get, and we need also some quality agency or non-academical partner who can like help about maybe and understand what we help about maybe about the quality needs and also understand what we do and so on. And from Armenia now we have only 1 university. Others we will search now, and they told me like they will get it maybe at the Monday. And they also need Ministry of Education, and already we have a quality agency in that list. Of course, our university which are like mine managing partner. And from EU, we thought maybe it's good to take also Austria Applied Sciences University, but we don't know yet, so we're waiting answer. And 1 non-academical partner who helped develop Digi and IT systems from Hungary. So it's basically all. If you have any questions, then I will answer.
Thank you very much. So probably it is a good moment for colleagues from Odessa, Kyiv, and Kharkiv to voice their opinions on the capacity and on the actual needs for the microcredit project. And perhaps for us it also would be an opportunity for our partner from Kyiv to present herself and her institution, if there are some slides. You see, in terms of consortium composition, we still need to find contacts with Ukrainian Ministry of Education, and I suppose our Odessa colleague is busy with this. And also we need the quality National Quality Assurance Agency for higher education. As long as I know, Professor Nadia Maximenko is the member of the expert board of this agency. So probably that would be one of the ways for us to access this partner.
Yeah, I missed one thing. Greece, from Greece is also agricultural university can come maybe a participant, and I just forgot it.
Yeah.
No any questions.
So I guess it was very useful information about the structure and objectives of this project, and our partners had a lot of food for thought, and we may have some feedback later, hopefully. Thank you very much for introducing and presenting the project, and the Estonian University of Life Sciences as a project partner. That it gives us a really good foundation for working further on this application. Thank you very much. So,
we can't hear you, Anton. You muted your microphone.
Oh, my bad. I'm happy to see that we have the last presenter for this roundtable. Dr. Flavio Stimoli from University of Camerino in Italy is with us, and he will share an extremely relevant for Ukraine experience. Luckily, thanks to the God, there were no wars in Italy for quite a long time, but still there are earthquakes, which are very similar sometimes in terms of impact. And Dr. Stimoli will share the experience of University of Camerino for off-campus restoration after the earthquake. Flavio, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Anton. Thank you all for the invitation. I'm very happy and honored to be here to tell you about our experience. Yeah, a short premise is that in 2016 we had this huge earthquake, for us at least, for Italy. But a few months ago, I had the opportunity to go and see with my own eyes the consequences of the earthquake that occurred this year in February in Turkey and Syria. And I was really shocked in the sense that I already knew something about that, but it's something really uncomparable, even in a sense, to what we experienced in 2016. That was still a huge earthquake with hundreds of casualties. But yeah, in Turkey we are talking about most likely hundreds of thousands of people under the rubbles, and so I can't imagine probably what you are experiencing in Ukraine right now, because you are in the middle of a crisis, a war crisis. And yeah, as Anton correctly said, luckily enough, I didn't experience myself any type of war in my some 40 years of life. So this is just to say that I can just tell you our experience. I don't know to what extent could be useful to you. Anyway, let's go to the slide so I can explain better what was our what happened in Italy, and how we managed. We tried to survive, and then to overcome the earthquake. Just give me confirmation that you can see the slides. And
yes, so we can see it well.
Thank you very much. Okay, so you see that actually my short speech is going to be divided into two parts. Let's say one is about physical reconstruction. Let's say I will start from this, but also I will tackle more general recovery in terms of needs for capacity building, for strengthen the research networks, collaborations, and this kind of activities that we still continue to carry on and to implement during the crisis and afterwards. Because actually, yeah, the crisis, I mean, an earthquake, it's just one moment, less than a minute of total destroyment and damage, but then we had also a lot of aftershocks. So for several months, for even more than 1 year, after the biggest earthquakes of 2016. That was not actually only one, but there were 3 or 4 main shocks. Then we had 1 year and a half of aftershocks. So actually, yeah, the peak of the crisis was in 2016, but then for the whole 2017, we were still in the middle of this quite huge problem for us. I live in Camerino, Marche region. You see, it's in the central Italy, very close to the mountains, to the Apennines. That is a mountain range, as you see here. If I can put my, just a second, laser, yeah. These are the Apennines, a very long mountain range stretching all the way from the north to the south of Italy, even to Sicily. And we are in the very core of this. There were 4 regions affected by the 2016 earthquakes. One is Marche, where we live, and the other 3 you see here, Umbria, Abruzzo, and Lazio, where there is the capital city of Italy, Rome. But the area affected was this red one, the most affected one, and then with the blue you see also the somehow indirectly affected regions and areas. All the country was somehow shocked by this event, but in particular central Italy. And most of towns were in Marche region, so the region where the University of Camerino is established, is set. A few data just to give you the idea of what we experienced is that almost 140 municipalities were directly affected. The population, the overall population was around 500,000. So actually, this is pretty mountainous region with low density population, and the urban surface was up to 235 square kilometers. Quite a huge area for us. These are a few pictures of Central Italy before the earthquake, just to give you an idea of the kind of urban and extra-urban landscape. It's mostly composed of small to medium towns, quite well inserted into the landscape, and with very precious cultural, architectural heritage. This is Camerino. So you see, it's a small town from the Middle Age. This is the old town actually. Then there are a few neighborhoods more modern, with more modern architecture and building stock, but the core, the old town, is from Middle Age. And the University of Camerino actually is a very, very old university, one of the oldest in Italy, and not only the establishment, the official establishment of the university dates back to 1336. So it's 700 years of life. After the earthquake, unfortunately, this was the landscape that we had in central Italy. Yeah, one picture is exactly in Camerino. A few settlements were completely destroyed, wiped out by the earthquake, and yeah, the resemblance is like sort of bombings. In the last years, actually, we experienced also problems of drought, problems of flooding, landslides, because also the hydrogeological risk in this area is quite present and high. Then we had the reconstruction, you can see here on the top right, but mostly we had to cope with with what to do with the rubbles, with how to rebuild our settlements and how to continue life. In Camerino, the most affected buildings were actually churches like these, but also the university. The university lost several premises, several buildings. especially student dorms. I mean, this, for instance, was a house where students used to live. So we had the need, we had really the urgent need for providing accommodation to people to continue life, not to let everyone flew out of the region and leave abandon completely the settlements, because what happened in fact is that thousands of families moved away. They moved towards the coast, towards biggest cities and towns, and so there was this the population trend that was putting even more at risk the future of this region. You see here a square empty, as it looks like even now, unfortunately, because the reconstruction process is quite long and quite slow. So we are still really working hard, try to come out and to overcome this huge problem. This was the usual resemblance of a city square in Camerino with this nice church, and here on the left side this was and still is a building belonging to the university. There were the secretary offices and other administrative offices. Nowadays, if you visit the town, it's like this. So the church is completely unapproachable. I mean, you cannot enter. It was actually even a red zone until few months ago, so it was not even possible to get here inside. Now, yes, because all the buildings around have been scaffolded and secured, so it's possible to enter. A few buildings have been restored, but it's still a minority. Yeah, in this huge crisis, we had some opportunities. One of these, for instance, was to get rid of this quite ugly building that was actually built in the very old town, and actually it was not even liked by locals. It was built a few decades ago, but it was really out of place. So although the structure of this building was not really damaged, seriously damaged by the earthquake, all the rest was quite damaged. So in the end, the municipality of Camerino decided to demolish it, and to call a quite famous architect, Mario Cucinella, to design a new city square, a new public open space that could really change the urban landscape of the old town of Camerino for the better, for the good. So this is a small piece of opportunity that we have. And here you see a first master plan drawn up by a team of architects, urban planners, and others from the University of Camerino. I was included in this work team, coordinated by Professor Massimo Sargolini. And this master plan is about the future of the University of Camerino. So now I'm not gonna go into details, but you can recognize in the bottom of the picture the city center, the old town of Camerino, and then highlighted with the colors the possible new arrangement of the different campuses of the university, including student dorms, faculties, the new rectorate, and all the facilities that a university need to go on with its activities. Yeah, this is the same like with the orthophoto map and with some more details. That was a sort of concept master plan. Then we really tried to insert, possible new buildings, new functions, how to rearrange everything, because we also had to put together a lot of different needs and also people, because the spaces basically were much less than before the earthquake. So we had also to imagine a transition period in which The Faculty of Law, for instance, that was before hosted here in the city center of Camerino, had to move somewhere else. So it was really complex problem, and we somehow tried to address these issues in such a way that, as you see here, actually, we had to build some new structures, because we couldn't imagine to wait for the whole reconstruction of the damaged buildings to happen. We had to hurry up somehow because of many reasons. In Italy, unfortunately, the reconstruction processes are quite slow. Also because we are dealing with precious heritage, and there are a lot of limitations and ties. But anyway, here you see actually the new campus of the university. Here on the right side, this is the facility, the premise where the rectorate of the University of Camerino is based. Then there is now the School of Law here. These are student dorms. And here on the left, you see the expansion of the campus after the 2016 earthquake. Because actually these other buildings that I described here now, they were built after another earthquake that hit Italy in 1997. So some 25 years ago. It was less serious and important than the 2016 one, but still there were damages. And at that moment, at that point, an expansion of the university happened here outside the city town, the old town. Another building that was built actually a few years ago, it opened actually, I think, a couple of years ago, is this new building that you see here highlighted on the top right. Is the name is CHIP, is Chemistry Interdisciplinary Project Building. It's about laboratories, but not only, because we lost a lot of spaces for this, and the university couldn't go ahead without this kind of equipments, facilities, and structures. So there was a need for this in particular. And this building, for instance, is totally isolated from the seismic point of view. So there is a base, you see, composed of reinforced concrete pillars. And then there are some 30 high damping rubber bearings that completely separate the upper structure from the basement. So that in case of a future earthquake, the structure will not really suffer any damage, even any small damage from a possible, even very serious earthquake. This building was even tested. Okay, so the function of these rubbers was tested through this huge device that is still there in the underground premises of the building. And it's we impressed a force to the building. We moved the building a few centimeters, and then so basically we simulated what would have happened in case of an earthquake, and the response of the building was really very good. So still this device is there. We can in the future we can try the test again to see if the response is gonna decrease or is gonna be stable, and so we can also imagine a maintenance of the rubbers and everything. So it's sort of like to have full control of the building and of its potential response to an earthquake. Nowadays, more in general, in the center of Italy, the landscape has completely changed. You see here some new buildings built up after 2016. In this couple of pictures, you see these are housing buildings for families, for people. Then there are schools. So a lot of so-called temporary structures, although they are, I mean, in terms of temporariness, is still arguable or debatable if this is really about temporary or something more permanent, because we are going to expect people to live in these houses for at least 5, 10, 15 years longer, depending on how the reconstruction process will proceed. But so far it's quite slow. So most likely these houses will stay there for 10, 20 years, and maybe at that point the houses will not be removed anymore. Maybe they will be somehow bought by owners, or there will be a change of functions, or in some cases maybe they will really be removed, but the future of this is quite uncertain. At the same time, there are truly permanent buildings such as these and spaces. These are in Camerino, these are in another town of central Italy. These are public buildings and spaces to host the social life and the public services, public or private services that anyway are for the community, to keep people there. Exactly as I said at the beginning, not to leave people go far from the region. Another small piece of opportunity is represented by the possibility to have scientists, scholars, students to come and visit our places, our towns, because of a scientific interest, because of what happened actually in 2016. So this is also a way how to turn the crisis into an opportunity. And then coming to the University of Camerino and my own experience in this respect, I have to mention for sure the establishment of this research consortium, READY, you see, Reducing Risks of Natural Disasters, that was born in 2018, a couple of years after the earthquake, and was established by these four quite important institutions in Italy, at least the University of Camerino, one of the oldest universities in Italy, the Gran Sasso Science Institute, another very important research institute, the National Institute for Nuclear Physics, and the National Institute for Geophysics and Volcanology. They together combined their forces and efforts to establish in Camerino a research consortium that should just deal with this problem. Because we had some expertise and competencies on this, but it was not really one of the main topics, let's say, of the University of Camerino. But the University of Camerino was the most affected university after the 2016 earthquake, and we really had the need also to have, skills and experts on this topic. With this consortium, we carried out a few research projects. Here I mentioned a couple of them, but there are others ongoing, and different studies also with the PhD students, because this is a consortium that there's no bachelor or master degree, only PhD students. You see a couple of completed projects, this pre-plan and ReLand. In particular, the second one, you see actually it's an Italy-USA cooperation initiative that gave us the possibility also, for instance, to reach out to the United States and to colleagues who dealt with these issues for much longer time, such as, for instance, this John Garrick Institute for the Risk Sciences in Los Angeles, California. So we carried out the project together with them. We understood many new things thanks to them. We exchanged experiences. They came to Italy. We got advice. We got new, very useful information about how to overcome, how to foster the recovery and reconstruction process. Then in the last couple of years, we had also the strength to reach out to schools, actually. So here you see this project called Mitigation, an interdisciplinary training course to approach the issues of vulnerability and risk. Basically, we go to schools of the region and we try to train, to first of all to inform and to sensitize young students to these problems, not only earthquake risk but also hydrogeological risk in particular, and wildfires and other types of risk. To try to grow a new generation of people very sensitive on these topics, because we were really unprepared to what happened in 2016. That was the main problem. I myself, I am a witness of this, in the sense that I started my PhD project just in 2016. So all my PhD research was oriented somehow to this. You see here, this is the title of my PhD dissertation, is Regional Development of Inland Areas through, in particular, disaster risk reduction and new connections with the coast. That is another problem. The relationship between inland areas and coastal areas. Then after the earthquake, we had the pandemic. So actually we dealt also with this. This is just a seminar I gave in 2020 about COVID-19 and comparative studies with other so-called unpredictable, but not really unpredictable disasters. Actually, we got quite prepared to tackle somehow the pandemic, because, for instance, after the earthquake, the University of Camerino implemented very soon, these remotely possibilities of having class through Cisco WebEx or other telematic platforms, not to lose students, not to lose courses, classes, and actually we really did good in this respect, because we didn't lose a student. Even we increased a little bit the number of students at the University of Camerino, which is usually quite low. I mean, we are talking about a small university. Then again, I had the opportunity myself to go back to the United States and to establish a new collaboration with this Natural Hazard Center based in Boulder, Colorado. We had this workshop in 2018, very interesting and useful. And then acquiring new knowledge and expertise, experience on this, we could establish a new course. Now I am teaching a course of disaster management within the master's degree in geoenvironmental resources and risks, as you see here. So we are widening the didactic offer to students in this respect. We are establishing new collaborations with the National Civil Protection Department. We are bringing even our students to the civil protection facilities, headquarters on different regions, because the management of the civil protection, as it is in most European countries, is based on a regional level. So different regions, they have their own agency, their own civil protection department, and they are quite independent and autonomous from each other, although there is a national coordination center. So these are just a few pictures of all the visits and experiences we had with them. And in the end, in the last few years, so quite recently, we collected a lot of new studies, researches at the service of, you see, the regional authorities and communities. We managed to print out a book that is whose title is this: Revival of Central Italy Project, New Paths of Development for the Central Apennines After the 2016 Earthquake, with the maps and data. This is the cover of the book. That was really commissioned by this Dipartimento Casa Italia. You see here that it's a government department in charge of securing, taking care, and updating, upgrading, retrofitting all the Italian building stock in terms of seismic security, in terms also of energy efficiency. So we were commissioned by this department to figure out a possible long-term plan for the center of Italy after the earthquake. Actually, so the research project outline and the book contents is divided into these three parts that might be of interest also to you. I hope, I mean, we organize the work in this way. In a first moment, in the first part of the book, so you find, and we focused on thorough analysis of the structural features of the territory prior to the earthquake. The second step was to map, to try to understand which were the first and most promising initiatives of sustainable regeneration, sort of spontaneous, actions and projects that arise from the communities. And then we try to imagine, to elaborate a long-term strategy for the reconstruction and recovery process. So not only in physical terms, but also from the social and economic point of view, because also the social and economic future of the region was already at risk before the earthquake because of many reasons. So in the end, we dealt with resilience, this word that now is present everywhere. And you see, resilience is something about the future. Of course, we should be prepared to tackle possible events, possible disasters, possible drops in the system performance, and to react, to have a response and then recovery phase, and in the most in the best scenario to be regenerative, so to exploit this window of opportunity that, for instance, we are just in the mid of, if we think about COVID-19 pandemic and the recovery plan, the European recovery plan, and what we have at our disposal. For instance, Italy in particular, we got some more than 200 billion euro to fund and to sustain, to support projects to overcome the socioeconomic crisis brought about by the pandemic. But we have a deadline. We have, I mean, by 2026 we should turn these investments into real projects. We should get things done. And it's not so easy for us to comply with this deadline, but hopefully we are going to come close to this. If we are good enough, we can turn our future into something regenerative rather than sustainable, hopefully not degenerative. So this is in very briefly, shortly, my own experience with the University of Camerino and the reconstruction process after the earthquake. What to say? I think you do very well to think about the future, even if you are in the middle of a crisis still, and I don't know how and when is going to be the end of this, and I hope soon as possible. But to think ahead is something good, in my opinion. Also to be positive and optimistic for the possible future of our countries. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free. I'll be happy to hear. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Flavio. I think it's from your talk we really can take a lot of home lessons for what we can plan in our project and how we can help our friends in Ukraine. Because indeed, in the course of your presentation, I realized that many similarities in the situations we have in Ukraine now and you had with earthquake recovery, they even more strikingly similar than I even imagined. And a lot of ways for strategic thinking, a lot of tactics you have experience with, they're very relevant and absolutely worth learning from. And especially I like this idea of establishing the consortium to research this particular issue and find solutions. So probably it also can be one of the sustainable outputs of our project as we're planning it. So thank you again. So any feedback or questions from the audience? I think we're supposed to have some was really kind of something similar to Ukrainian experiences nowadays.
So many thanks for the interesting information, first of all. It's unexpected that you in Camarina solve the same problem that we have now. Some of the university buildings are completely or particularly destroyed, and it's urgent to decide what to do with them next. Restore or destroy maybe important problem, but how to organize space in the future. Your experience invaluable for the future reconstruction of Kharkov and other cities that suffered in the war. By the way, we were also not ready for what happened in February last year in our country. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I can feel this really this compassion. Yeah, that's probably something not to react on very quickly, and I believe, especially if we are lucky and get our SANI application funded, then we have a lot of good chances to see in detail and to discuss how exactly we deal with these issues. Indeed, Kharkiv is an absolutely unique example for Europe of the second half of the 20th century, like a huge city and all over sudden is under shelling. I mean, something very unprecedented, I would say. Yeah, and as Professor Tretenko rightly pointed out, also university in a way experienced very similar problem, like big missile got just next to the main building, and a lot of spaces were damaged, and several buildings of the university, they've been directly struck by missiles and destroyed completely. But it's again like big discussion how to deal with this in this fabric of the historical urban core. And,
yeah, yes. If I can add, this is really important, but most important is the human resource of the university. So actually, I mean, we do need facilities, laboratories, and structures where to carry out our studies, researches, experiments, whatever, classes. But we do, I mean, we really were we were worried very much about possible drop in the students, or even in professors, because some researchers, they left the place, the university, and they moved somewhere else. So the first thoughts, I think, should be addressed to these problems, and so how to organize the university activities in a way that is suitable, and in a way that even students, for instance, I didn't mention about the fact that the University of Camerino still, after 7 years from the earthquake, is providing free transportations for those students who cannot stay in Camerino because there is a lack of sufficient accommodation possibilities. So there are some buses that riding students on a daily basis from, for instance, Ancona, that is on the coast of the region, towards Camerino and back. There were more rides a few years ago. Now is reducing because the accommodation possibilities in the town has increased. Just to give you some example, and then somehow the university was also quite creative in providing new opportunities, new, how to say, advantages for even for university staff, okay, in order to be attractive, appealing from many respects. So then, I mean, at the same time, we had to think, imagine the reconstruction of buildings and everything. But like the human resources should be at the center of our thoughts always.
Yeah, that's also absolutely believe that what should be one of the focal topics for the revision of our application. And indeed, that's the problem, which is Kharkiv University, National University, as well as other universities in the cities, but broader in Ukraine experiencing right now like huge brain drain. Like a lot of researchers have left the city and more importantly, even the country. And indeed, there are some issues with enrolling new students because like the place is not exactly safe even now and being attacked rather often. And from what I know, that even now the university cannot run regular classes because the regulation is that if any educational establishment is running classes, it needs to have equal shelter capacity to have enough place in shelter in case of air alerts. And I mean, it's a huge university of almost 30,000 people studying there.
Yeah, now it's a survival time, I guess.
Absolutely. So that's what we need to focus on. And we had in mind all kinds of things we can do from the European side, probably to host some of the IT resources to provide some research capacity to PhD students, to provide some extra opportunities to students and staff, and see how we can help our colleagues to overcome this crisis.
We do have Ukrainian students at the University of Camerino right now. One student also attended my course in disaster management. So she's from Kiev. She told me a lot of stories about what she experienced.
Unfortunately, approximately 40% of our students also left and are unlikely to return.
It's a huge figure. It's really a huge figure.
Yeah, in the short term, sure. Hopefully not in the mid and long one.
Okay. Any other feedback? Yeah, I think all in all, it was extremely useful talk, and indeed, probably we'll have more opportunities to discuss with Flavio how we revise the application also in terms of Camerino experience, which is really invaluable in that case, and in many amazingly relevant aspects. So that's I think was the last talk in our formal part of our meeting. Thank you, Flavio, for being with us. I wanted to ask Christina if you are still around.
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, so probably we can now to ask Olga Shevchenko from Kyiv National University to appear. I saw just a moment ago she was here, but probably she thought that we're done and left. Nadia Vasilyevna, yeah, you're here. Sorry. So just wanted to introduce our new colleague in actually probably even both applications. Olga Shevchenko, she's the vice dean of the Faculty of Geography at Kyiv Taras Shevchenko National University. This is the main university in Kyiv, and then again, depending on what ranking you follow, arguably the first one in Ukraine. And could you introduce very briefly the profile of your faculty and your interest?
Yes, thank you. But I also would like that I think that not only our university is the main university of Ukraine, but there are two main universities, our and the University of Kharkiv. It's also very big and famous university.
Yeah, but that's exactly I mentioned that it depends on what ranking you follow. Like in one ranking, Kyiv University is the first, and others one Kharkiv is. So
Yes. So, dear colleagues, actually, I'm very pleased to join this event, and I apologize, but from the second part of our meeting, I unfortunately participate at the same time 2 meetings in parallel, and because of this, I wasn't. I didn't listen some presentation, unfortunately, and because of this, first of all, I would like to ask: is it possible to get a presentation of Christine Maran to read it a little bit later after our meeting? If it's possible, I will be appreciated if you can send me this presentation. And I don't have a presentation, but I would like to tell you a few words about our university and our faculty. Actually, our faculty has 8 different departments, and we conduct research in various fields of geography and earth sciences, including climate, including economic and geographical studies, urban studies, hydrology, and a lot of other directions of geography and earth sciences. Also, our faculty has experience in implementing projects under the Horizon and Erasmus programs. In July of this year, together with our good partners from Odessa State Ecological University, we started implementing the Kluvix project, Climate University for Virtual Exchange. Before this, we implemented the Eco Impact project. It also was the Erasmus project, and also together with Odessa State Ecological University. Our university quite big, and unfortunately I don't have the newest information about all projects which are implemented in our university, only about faculty projects which I mentioned, and also about our university. We have 13 faculties, 8 institutes, and 2 colleges, so we have a potential to implement different interdisciplinary projects. Actually, if very briefly, that's all what I wanted to say. Maybe you have some questions.
I believe that Kyiv National University also. Okay, Kyiv National University also has would be a very precious addition to partner consortium due to its very high dissemination capacity, being such an important university in this country. It would help us to create a good niche for innovation that from which other universities and non-university academic institutions in Ukraine can take new things and to replicate good experiences and disseminate it within the country. So I think like in this way, it is a very, very welcome addition to our consortium, and probably gives us even better chances at the next selection round. So, Christina, would you have questions to Olga? Probably.
At the moment, I don't have any questions, because maybe we have to meet one time more, and then I have more questions, because I have to check your website and what you do more, and you know. And Anton, maybe you send me this information about Olga email, and then maybe we can communicate directly.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I believe for all in all, we have run very successful events. So we saw each other in face. So Christina and Flavia could see some of our partners. So we can go ahead with preparation of applications. And otherwise, I think that would be nice if we could collect all the talks together and make them available to the participants of the meetings through Google folder or some other ways. So, like, if you, Flavia, could send your talk to me, and I also will ask Kalev, and you, Christina, I will forward it to Professor Maximenko, and we'll make the link available to all the people, so they could probably reflect slower and better on this new information.
All right.
Okay, then thank you everyone for joining this roundtable. Like, now we have much less people than we had at the beginning, but I hope still it was useful for everyone. Like, for me, it was really, really extremely very useful, also in terms of our already quite long-standing cooperation with Camerino. So I can see more things we can do together, hopefully. And then I wish everyone a nice day, and let's keep this momentum moving and have some useful follow-ups, like as projects, publications, and other good things.
Thank
Thank you
all.
for the organization.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Good evening.
Thanks to the moderator.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
Bye.